chat inside here if we can.
What's up, Jeff? What's up, David?
What's going on, everyone? What is up? We are live. Let's see if the people are inside here. I'm hoping with Webinar Jam we can just use the integrated chat that's in here. Is it just us? Like here. Can you see that? Is it just? Can you guys see that chat there? For the guys on the panel, top left, there's a little chat icon there.
Oh yeah, I see that.
So if you guys can see it, I'm wondering if everyone else that comes out. Okay, so you can see it. We'll just make sure we get everyone in here. I'll try and pop that link in the group as well. And then I'm wondering if they can use that chat without being on the panel. If you guys are here right now, if you're live with us, if we're trying to use the chat inside of Webinar Jam, I don't know what it looks like when you're not on the panel. If we can use that chat, let's try and use that. If not, we'll just use the GSD chat like we've normally been doing. But if you guys are here and you're watching and you're not a presenter on the panel, try and use the Webinar Jam chat that's in there. If you register for the webinar, you should have been able to use that. If you can, try and comment on there. If not, we'll just go over to the GSD chat and we'll use that. So let me see.
Yeah, are we able to see the chat?
Pardon?
Are we able to log in and see the chat too?
I'm just wondering if the people, like for you, David, in the top left, you see the little chat icon, and it should pull up that. So like us on the panel, we can see it. And it should do it where, as long as the people register for the webinar, they should have been able to use the chat on the right here. It looks a bit different, or maybe it's this. Oh. I wasn't even in it. I had to get the webinar jam thing and turn on. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now it's starting to come on. So, guys, let's try and use the chat inside Webinar Jam. So to get that, if you guys are watching just on the YouTube link that we put in, what you want to do is use the link to register for the webinar first, and what it's going to do is that'll bring you in. It should work here now. I love how awesome we are with technology. Or I should say me.
Hey, Jang.
Don't try and.
While we're here, hey, Jang. While we're here, I've been getting a ton of questions about webinar schedules for the holidays. So do you have an idea of what we're going to be doing?
Perfect. Yeah, let's touch on that. I mean, obviously Christmas, New Year's, and stuff. Let's look at the calendar right now.
I think Christmas Eve should be fine. I would say that'd be good, but maybe I think New Year's Eve is on a Thursday. That's probably
Christmas Eve. I won't be able to. I'll be. Okay. It depends if Nate and I'll see. I mean, I know Nate's a big family guy. He'll probably be doing stuff Christmas Eve. I mean, honestly, that next week, tomorrow, the Monday should be fine. We do the Monday. We probably miss Christmas Eve. So probably the next 2 Thursdays. Probably don't do the next Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve are both a Thursday. So maybe we'll do Monday this week, and then Monday the next week. So we'll do one webinar a week for just for those 2 holidays. And once we're back into January, we can kick it back off and have it running normal again. If for whatever, if Nate, I mean, right now. Julian's in Israel, so he's not even able to do anything with webinars. If Nate's up for it and can do either one of those, I know New Year's Eve definitely won't be one.
Yeah, that won't work.
But Christmas
I
Eve.
can do Christmas Eve and help if anybody needs. If anybody's doing it, I can help.
I don't know, Carlson, are you gonna do yours Christmas Eve?
No, it's my birthday. I probably won't.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I get on here, but I might be a little like, woo!
You'll be like Nate every webinar.
I'll be like, happy birthday, woo! Yeah, nah. Yeah, like Nate. I'll come on like Nate. What I'm saying is, Nate,
Yeah.
there he is. I think he just popped on. Nate, dog. Nate, what's up?
Can you hear us, Nate? Awesome. So, guys, so I think so. Everyone's saying no video here, no video, but the video is still available on the YouTube link. That's weird. So like, so all you in the chat can't see.
We're so good at this.
So good, right?
Bro,
This should inspire. This should inspire so many people. Be like, if these idiots can do this.
These dumbasses make 10 grand a month. I can do this.
Oh man. Okay, so.
Okay, so here's the link. I'm going to post the link in the chat right there. I just went through the registration process, and it took me to that link right there. Is that the same one you posted?
I think so. I don't know. They only get the chat in here. It's not letting them see the video. That's weird. Well, we got a YouTube link. If maybe I guess we'll just have it where just have the YouTube link open and then just have the chat open as well. I guess we'll go back and forth. As soon as we do the next one, it should work fine. Or I'm an idiot. One of the two.
It says we haven't started yet. Weird.
It says we haven't started yet.
Yeah, the screen says sit tight. The apprentice sentence has not started yet.
Make sure it's the 16th one too, because it's set up.
There's 17 people on there right now.
Okay, well, what we'll do, I'll fix that later. Just anyone that's watching right now, if the video works on the YouTube link, use the YouTube link. If that's what we need to, we'll just use the chat in here. As far as the chat goes, the link. Did you post? I'll just post the YouTube link in here. Oh man, we got another 2 Nates. Nate Dog.
We got double Nate.
What the?
Whoa!
I cloned myself.
Nate, look at that. Yeah.
He's gone. Okay. Anyways, we're already 7 minutes in, 8 minutes in. Sorry for the issues, guys. Again, technological difficulties we seem to run into pretty much every time we do some sort of live presentation whatsoever, which is awesome. But so for all you guys that are here,
Nothing's crazy. Remember when the first time I ever did this, I actually muted Julian on a live webinar and then bounced. Remember that?
Yeah, on a presentation webinar, he muted him and then left. And so we're like, Julian, no one can hear him talk. No one knows what's going on.
I thought I was muting myself. I had no idea what I was doing. I was trying to mute myself.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So, guys, sorry for the delay there. We got a decent panel of people that we're going to be bringing out as we move forward tonight. We got to make sure that we do keep it within the hour as well, so we'll try and go as quick as possible and cram as much info as we possibly can. And then if anyone wants to stay a bit later, we might be able to do that depending on how it goes. So everyone, if we're gonna, what we'll do then is we'll just use, if you did register and you got to the point where the chat came up, just use the chat. We realized the video isn't working on there. Use the YouTube link for the video, but let's try and keep the chat inside of the Webinar Jam platform. If possible for everyone. We've posted the link inside there for the video, so you guys should be able to watch that there. And then if at any point in time you're having issues, the video doesn't work, whatever, post in the chat in here, and we'll get that solved right away. All right, guys, so what I wanted to do, actually, is I wanted to bring out a couple of people, because there's been a ton of people here that have been getting some really good results. And I want to get them, bring them out, and be able to have them kind of share their story and their experience of what they've been doing to get to where they are. So we got a couple of different people at a couple of different levels, and you'll kind of basically see what it's taken them to kind of get to there. And hopefully, what we were trying to do here is just kind of really get you to the point where you really, really believe and see how easy this really is once you start getting into the flow of things. And once you start really getting everything working, all of a sudden it's not as hard. Like when you're first getting started, it can seem so difficult to make your first sale because you haven't done it before. So when you have that type of belief that this is difficult, making money is difficult, whatever it may be, you start to create that into your reality. And so what I want to really do is kind of bring out the people that are getting results so that they can affirm to you even more. You know, I say it's easy all the time. We have a lot of leaders that come up here and say it's easy, but I can guarantee you that everyone that's now starting to get, you know, 100 leads a day or more, getting sales on the webinar, they'll tell you that's a lot easier than you make it out to think, than you make it out to be yourself. And so what you want to kind of do is just kind of listen to the people's stories and see if you can relate to any of the positions that they were in or any of the things that they've gotten into, to use that to kind of get past, because really the only thing that's going to be standing in your way here, guys, is going to be yourself. And as soon as you can get to the point where you just get out of your own way, everything starts to become so much easier. You can create your life to be two different ways. You can sit here and create everything to be difficult and go, oh, my ads aren't working, they're not converting, I'm split testing like crazy and I can't seem to get a good one. Or you can go, you know what, yeah, I'm split testing and maybe I'm not getting a good one right now, but I'm learning the skill set of split testing and I know I'm going to come up with one that works. As soon as I do that, everything's going to flow and it's going to become much easier. And as soon as you start looking at things like that, because I know how frustrating it can be when you don't get an ad converting. You know what I mean? When you're putting up split tests and it's not going good and you're not getting leads and you're spending money and you're not seeing money coming in, it can get frustrating. And that's exactly why we need to be focusing on this stuff more and more and more so that we know how to handle situations when we get into a point like that. Because as soon as we get frustrated, that starts to influence the results of everything that we do in our business, and your results are going to go down even lower, right? So as soon as you can kind of know that you're going to come into times like this, know that there's going to be hiccups in the road, and know that that's all it is. And as soon as you can kind of step out and kind of take a bigger picture view at it and just kind of look at what's happening and see that, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter if my first 50 ads don't convert. It doesn't matter if this doesn't happen, because my why is so big enough that it doesn't matter what I have to go through. It doesn't matter. I know that eventually if I can stay consistent and if I keep moving forward, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get an ad that works. I'm going to find something that converts. And so what I want to do is I'll bring out maybe Jeff Forte first. Jeff, are you there, buddy? So Jeff got started. Yeah. You know, how many months ago did you get started, Jeff?
Probably around 4 or 5 months ago, yeah.
4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And you know, it takes a little bit to get going. You know what I mean? And so what I want to do is have you kind of share your experience of kind of why you got started in the beginning. But then if there was any struggles that you came into as you started going, what were the struggles that came up, and what did you do to kind of get over those?
Well, basically, when I first started at it, is to have more free time. And as I was getting started, I didn't have more free time because I was always plugging away at my computer. And like it was hard for me. And every time I was messaging you, you were telling me that it's easy. So I keep on plugging away, putting more ads. I probably, I don't know, put 400 ads out, and then I got probably 10 converting very good. And see, this week I had last webinar I had 4 sales. So
yeah, and it's awesome. And so when you're first getting started, you know it's tough and it's difficult. You run into times where obviously it gets frustrating. You know, it gets frustrating, and you're like, shit, dude. You're like, what am I doing wrong? You know, I'm doing all the right things. I'm putting up the ads. I'm doing these things. Like, why am I not getting the results? And so basically, you got into that quite a few times, just like I did, just like I know numerous people get into the time where you get a bit frustrated. And what was it that made you kind of just no matter what, you kept pushing through it? Like, you went through a decent amount of time where you're trying to get things flowing, and now that you get 4 sales last time and our stuff is starting to flow a lot easier now, what was it that kind of made you keep kind of pushing through rather than just giving up and saying, oh, screw it?
Well, I don't know. I probably could have quit like probably 3 or 4 times. Like, seriously, I was spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars and nothing was converting. But I don't know. I just be like reading every day. It really helps me just to keep myself positive and all that. Like, even I stopped reading for I don't know, a couple of weeks because I was just moving in my new house, which I just bought. And then I start reading back today and see I got promoted to TC. So I don't know if it's all related, but it works.
It's funny you say that, because I think on the last team webinar, me and David were talking about that all the time, where David had the same thing as me. It's like, I want to read, I want to make money. That's what I was like in the beginning, right? But then you start reading more, and then when you don't read, you start to notice your influence, your results all of a sudden kind of like go down, and then you start reading again, your results go back up, and then you stop reading and your results go down, and it's like, shit, even if I don't believe in this, like, I realize that if I read, I get better results, and if I'm not, my results start going down. Whether it's because you're getting yourself into the right mindset, you're being more positive, and this is why we're talking about this so much, because people don't even realize how much your mood and like how you act influences the results. Your mindset influences everything that you do, and so when you're in a positive mood because you're reading it constantly throughout the day, you influence all of your results in a positive way, whereas you get into a slump where you stop reading for a bit, life gets in the way. Something happens at work, or a friend does this, or something happens that comes in, and because you're not reading consistently, you're not in that state of gratitude or in that positive mindset, you let it affect you, and as soon as it affects you, it affects your mood, and then it affects your results. And that's cool. I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because as all you guys that are here watching right now, you start to see a pattern, right? That every single one of the people that are getting pretty good results are usually reading consistently and going through and listening to audios, but really focusing on themselves, and whether they have their own personal morning routine that they go through, or they're just reading or doing stuff like that. It's really the point of investing in yourself as much as physically possible and keeping yourself in that state. Because it's just like motivation is like bathing almost. That's why they recommend it daily. It lasts. You get motivated, but then if you don't consistently do it, it can start to wear off. So you want to make sure that you're consistently reading every single day, so that it's going to be able to go through and it's going to keep influencing results. You're not going to get into those slumps, right? And I notice it all the time. If I don't read for a day or 2 days, all of a sudden I just don't feel on point. And it influences everything. It's not even just business. It influences how I act in relationships or with my friends or anything like that, because I'm not kind of on point there. So that's awesome, Jeff. And I want you guys to really think about that. Like, some of you guys are here right now, and some of you guys, you got results right away. You started crushing ads, and you started getting results. Others are here, and maybe it's been a month. Maybe it's been 2 months. Maybe it's been a little while, and you haven't seen those results just yet. Just know that the only way that you're ever going to fail is if you give up. You're going to come into times where it's a struggle. You know what? Jeff says you would have quit 3 or 4 times almost. Guys, I cannot count how many times I would have probably quit. I would go to Cameron all the time, and I'd be like, dude, like, this is so hard. And all he would say is he would smile at me and say, this is so easy, all the time. So now I get to do that to you guys as much. But that's why I do it, because as soon as I started getting into it and I started realizing, oh shit, that's why Cam says it all the time. He creates his whole life to be so effortless. And he's learned that from reading and listening to audios more than most people I know. He does it consistently all the time, every day. So that's awesome, Jeff. Thanks for popping out.
I just want to share little things. Last week, last hangout, my girlfriend was like, well, why they never invite you on those webinars? I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, you watch, and the next month I'll be up there and see. That's so funny.
Dude, it's so. Did you guys watch? Any of you guys watch the UFC fight with McGregor? This last one, and you guys see, I posted a video on it in there, and it was about him and kind of the law of attraction. And there was one where he kind of went back, and actually it was all the results he's done in the last little bit, and he called everything that he did up until now. He's like, I'm going to knock this guy out in the first round. I'm going to do this and this time. I'm going to do this. And he called it before the fight happens. And then he goes to the fight. Same thing with Aldo. He said he's going to overextend, and I'm going to crush him. It doesn't matter if you guys don't like fighting. That's not the reason why I'm using this. But he was so certain, and he visualized, and he ran through that fight already. Before he fought it, he'd already done it before. He already knew exactly what Aldo was going to do, and he did it. And he literally walked through and did it. And it wasn't like it was just one time. It was going back, and it was like, I know I'm going to be in the UFC in the next little while. You're going to be announcing me, he said to the announcer at the UFC. Over and over, he kept calling things. And guys, this is what's so powerful. Look, Jeff, I'm going to be on the Hangout. In the next month, I'm going to be on the Hangout. I randomly messaged him today. I was like, yo, we got to get you out here today. You know what I mean? And it's like when you start to speak out, when you have the courage to speak out your vision of what you want to create and put it out there, that's when you can really start to create that. Because if you don't have the courage to speak out your goals to the public, for people to see, it's like you don't believe in it enough to say it out. Like if you can't go out on your Facebook right now and be like, I'm committed to going and making $10,000 a month, I'm willing to do whatever, or whatever your goal is that you're wanting to go and create, if you're not willing to be able to put it out there and speak those words into existence, it means you don't fully believe in yourself and your ability to be able to go out and do that. That's going to influence the results that you get. But that's cool, Jeff, how you did that. And you're going to start to see that now that you can start to do that a lot. I mean, Carlson has a really great story about when he was doing that at a fitness competition. And he would visualize himself going out on stage, them speaking his name, that he would win this competition. And I believe at the time you'd never even done that type of work before when you set that goal. Hey, Carlson?
First time. I've never done anything like that. That's why I chose I chose to do that, because it's something I've never done before. It was way out of my comfort zone. If I was gonna, in order to actually win something like that, I was gonna have to work my ass off to get there. And so it was something I've never done before. Brand new, completely new to industry to me.
And what was cool was that you brand new, never been in, never an experience, but what you did is you just every day would visualize you going up on stage, them announcing your name so many times that when it actually happened, you didn't know if you were dreaming or if it happened in real life. You know?
Yeah, I really didn't, guys. Yeah.
Right, and that's so cool to see, because it just shows how powerful this stuff is, and it shows how fun it can be. Because once you start to get that, now you're like, wait a second, if I can create that, what else can I create? What else can I set my mind to and then go out and achieve? You start to see how fun that is, because most of the population does not operate like this. Most of the population operates like the world happens to me and I have no control over it. That's how most people operate. So as soon as you start switching that and you go, you know what, fuck that. I'm going to take responsibility for my own life and I'm going to create it the way that I want to. You know what I mean? If that means you staying at home and spending more time with your family, like I'm sure Nate loves to do a lot more, awesome. If that means you're going out and traveling around the world, cool. If that, whatever it is that you're wanting to create, you have the ability, as soon as you set your intention and you start to like really get into it, really visualize it on a daily basis. Like when Carlson, when he's visualizing that stuff, I can guarantee he did that every day. Every day, and he's going through it, and you're running through it so much in your mind where your subconscious cannot tell whether your body's actually experiencing this or whether you're just imagining it. And that's actually really cool. I think Jeff Rayburn was talking that he was reading Psycho-Cybernetics, I believe. Yeah, that book will get in a lot about visualization and stuff. And it's in everything, guys. Everyone in professional sports, hockey players, baseball players, MMA fighters, all these guys constantly do visualizations. They're pitching an entire baseball game in their mind before they go out there and play. They're playing an entire hockey game, every hit, like they're running through everything that could possibly happen. And especially, it's really cool so that when it does happen in real life, you feel like you've already done it before. So it's like, oh, I know what to do now when this happens because I've ran through this before in my mind, and this is what I would do. It makes everything so much easier. And that's actually who I wanted to bring out next, actually, Jeff Rayburn, because you've been crushing it, dude. 500 and something leads a day, like ridiculous. Or maybe Carlson, if you want to introduce. For those of those that don't know Jeff, maybe you want to be able to introduce a bit more.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And just to finish on there, James talking about guys. I know we bring this up all the time, but it is it's serious. I mean, that's how we all create a reality, whether you understand it yet or not. That's why you got to read, educate, continue to open and expand your mind. Whether you understand it or not, that's how you're creating your reality. Everything around you is created by your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs. Everything that led you to this point is coming from you. So it's a great opportunity to take full-on personal responsibility for the way your life is and just say, okay, this is what it is now, but this is what I want. And now you have lots of people around you, surrounding you, who are getting the results that you want in your life. They're living the lifestyles that you want, the incomes they want. So you already have examples. It's proven. So like for me and Jang, it was just like, I don't give a shit if I'm not there today. And I don't care if I'm going to fail this week or next month. And we kept going for 2.5 years, or for under 2 years to keep getting where we're at today. You know what I mean? So you have to just know that if they can get there, I can get there. You know, it might not be tomorrow. It may not be whatever your process is, whatever you're going to go through to get there. You can get there because you have people all around you at all kind of different ways of their life and different visions and for their own life, getting the results. There's no different than anybody on this panel. We don't have any secret sauce, any secret tools in the back that we're all talking about getting these results. There is nothing like that. Jeff, right now, who we'll bring on here, Jeff is a prime example of that, guys. Jeff came in. He was very coachable. He was very eager, and he actually told me, you know, and he says it in his testimony. He was hesitant at first, right? Excuse me. He was hesitant at first, right? Because you know, so things are new and just wasn't going to understand how the system works. But Jeff was asking the right questions. He was following step by step how to move through the process, and because of that, now Jeff has put himself in an amazing position. It has been so fun to watch. He's been here for just, I think, about 3.5 months now, and now he's in a position where he's getting able to scale his business. Right? He's doing his own calls. And guys, that was 3.5 months ago. Now I'm going to let him tell the rest of his story. He can tell you where he's come from, where he's going now. But guys, this is every one of you watching this right now. This is the exact same opportunity you have. Every single one of the panelists, there's nothing different that I have or Jeff has or anybody else on this panel has. There's nothing different than you have in your hands right now. It just takes that mindset and saying, you know what? Okay, maybe this ad sucks today, or maybe these 10 ads suck today. I lost $50 or I gained $10. Whatever it is, you just have to keep moving. You have to keep moving forward. And Jeff, you're out there, buddy. You ready to show them and tell them what a boss you are?
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
All right, man. It's your mic.
Cool. Yeah. So, like Eric said, you know, I'm like 3.5 months in, and you know, I was skeptical at first. I work hard for my money, and you know, when I get into something that I'm obviously not, you know, really informed about, you know, I'm not just gonna like give my money away. So of course I was skeptical. So I joined the group, and literally, you know, within like a week or so, I poked around and, you know, talked to a few people in the group that looked like they were, you know, a few steps ahead of me, but still kind of a beginner. Everyone I talked to said, yeah, this is great, you know, everything, I'm following along, everything's cool, you know, and then I chose to upgrade. So I just followed along, and I mean, all the steps were so easy that, I mean, before I knew it, I had, you know, 1 or 2 sales, and my faith in everything just like 100% sunk in and was more concrete. So once I knew, okay, I can do this, I pretty much just, you know, I didn't know, okay, I didn't think like, yeah, I'm gonna get rich, you know, in a month. This is gonna, you know, this is gonna explode for me like next week. I just figured I'll hammer away at it. I'll get, you know, I'll just keep going. I'll stick with Eric Carlson because he's crushing it, and I'll look up to all the people that are doing really good, and like David and Justin Connell and all those guys seemed like they were just like me, but maybe just another couple months ahead of me. So I was like, man, if those guys, if they can do it, I can do it. So it's kind of like a game to me at this point. You know, it's kind of like a game. Can I get to this level? Can I complete this? Can I complete that? And so far, I'm crushing it right now. So I would say at this point, yeah, I mean, this is such a great opportunity, and I think that anybody can do it. For the first, I'd say like 3 months, or 2.5 months, I was making a couple sales here and there and starting to build my team. And starting to learn how to coach my team, and my ads weren't really crushing it, but I was still able to, you know, afford some marketing and still plug along. Maybe 3 weeks ago, I placed a couple ads that were just like 19 cents a click. They were crushing it. I mean, I almost couldn't believe it. And immediately, I just upped my budget, and the leads started rolling in, and I actually prepared for the tsunami. So what I did was I set up my sales funnel. You know, Eric helped me with that, and I got the funnel set up. So as soon as I got that really killer ad and all those leads started coming in, the magic happened. So yeah, so the last probably 3 to 4 weeks have been amazing, kind of nerve-wracking and just exciting, and I just feel like all the things that I wanted when I started this venture are like coming way closer to me as the weeks go by. I feel like the house that I want to buy, you know, for my wife and I feel like that dream is just out of reach. Like next year, that's going to be reality for me. So, sorry, hopefully I didn't ramble too much, but
no, not at all, dude. That was awesome.
It makes me so excited at this point, because for the first 2.5 months, like I said, I was kind of, you know, moving along, and it was working to a degree, but I just didn't really feel the 10K month coming on anytime soon, you know. But it wasn't until I found that ad that just started crushing it, and I had the balls to raise my daily budget. I just had faith in it, and boom, you know. And I've had 4 webinars now in a row where I've had at least 4 to 10 people come in every time, and then a few in between the days off too. Like I had the next day, I was at my daily, regular job, and 3 people came in, another $300 in my account, just like that. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's there for the taking, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what's cool, I'd love to touch on a couple things there. When you first got, oh, Nate popped off. When you first got in, so it took you a little bit, but you're saying how you're skeptical at first, and that's how 90% of the people that come in, especially if this is like the first time you've ever been introduced to making money online or anything like this. Yeah, you're going to be skeptical. You're going to be skeptical and stuff. But then you said as well, as soon as you got like those first couple sales, then it kind of like it set it in now. You start to see, okay, hey, it's real now. I'm getting sales. I fully believe. But do you notice now, when you're having sales coming in every week now, do you notice that now that you're kind of at that point, it's a lot more effortless now? You're not, in the beginning, to get those first couple sales, you're grinding to get those first couple sales, and you believe that that's what you need, that it's difficult, like it's harder. You don't know. You've never been in this industry, especially when you work hard for your money outside of this. It's very hard to comprehend that like $1,000 can just come into your account in a day, just chilling while you're doing a webinar. So like now that you got to that point, now that you got kind of over that, are you reading and you're reading Psycho-Cybernetics? What did you read before that, Jeff?
Honestly, I've been incredibly busy, and in my downtime, I don't know. I've just been letting it slip through the cracks, unfortunately. So I've been a bad student. But yeah, no. I mean, I definitely plan on picking it up and reading through it. It's not a big book, so I'm sure I can get through it, without taking too much of my time up. So. But yeah,
it's good, and what can happen too is that some people, obviously, when you're coming in now, especially when it's solidified the results already, you're now confident in your ability, and you're going to be able to go out and get a lot of results. That's essentially why we have a lot of people read and listen to audios more so every day, is to develop that even more. Which it seems that obviously too that you're kind of already at that point where. If you want to get something done now, especially when you see that it's possible, you can just go now and get it done. You're going to get a result. You might come into situations where an ad might not convert, but now you're also having the balls to just up your ad budget. This is a thing too, where a lot of you guys in here, you guys will get ads that crank, but you're worried to spend more money. That's the one you got to kind of get over, because you're never going to scale a business if you get through that worry. It's going to be the first time you scale is going to be the time that scares you, especially the first time you're going to get scared. Just because it's like, fuck, this is a lot of money. Now I'm spending a lot more. It's not $5 a day anymore. It can scare you a bit. But as soon as you get over that and you become comfortable with it, now it's just it's a thing. If I have an ad that converts, I just scale it up. I know if I scale it up, it makes me more money. It's just getting over that little hump at first to believe that, okay, well, every dollar makes me $6. I got to spend more money, and then once you do that and you see that, okay, wow, my leads are still coming in, my clicks are still going, you're like, okay, it's kind of like a breath of fresh air. Okay, I can go and do that. Then just being confident in your ability and knowing that. And what was cool too is what we were saying, Jeff, too, is that you just kind of it was near the beginning when you were talking. You were just saying how I kind of just you just set your goal or whatever, and you just kind of went out and did it. But you're able to kind of speak that into existence now that you kind of have solidified that this is real. And this is one of the big things, is that for everyone here, like if you want to start really crushing it, what do you want to do? Like, I would set goals for all of you guys. If you guys haven't been on a hangout and been able to share your story a little bit, maybe that should be your first goal. Be like, I want to get some really good results, so I want to get some ads cranking so I can get some good results, some lead flow, some sales, so that I get pulled out on the GSD hangout
And then maybe that's your first goal that you set. I want to get pulled out and be recognized on the GSD Hangout in front of everyone because I just crushed it, right? And maybe that's your goal that you speak out. And then I'm sure all of you guys that set that intention right now, you know, we move forward, and just like Jeff, just like you know, when you go and speak your vision into existence, all of a sudden things are going to happen that are going to turn that into a reality. All of a sudden you're going to be, that's your vision now. You're like, I'm gonna crush it, so I get on that next hangout. Now when you go and do ads, that's influencing the ads that you put out. It's influencing the results that you're going to get with those ads. Because guys, what's really crazy too, and we've talked about this quite a bit, is that everyone thinks it's like it's the ad. You know what I mean? Like it's the one ad, and that's what it is. But honestly, like what's crazy is that Jeff's ad that's crushing for him right now, he could give that exact ad to me or to David or to Carlson, and not even get even close to the same results. And it could be the exact ad, like the exact thing, exact video, exact copy, exact interest, and one of you guys could run the same thing and get nothing, right? The thing is that when you are confident in your ability, when you know that what you are doing is going to produce a result, and when you start getting into that, when you know what you're trying to accomplish, I'm going to get to do 500 leads a day or make $10,000 a month or whatever goal it is that you set, and you start visualizing and focusing and moving towards that goal, and that's all you're doing, you're going to get to the point where all of a sudden your ads just start converting. It's like, doesn't matter what you throw up, it converts. You know what I mean? Rather than busting your ass just to find one that converts. It's that little hump that you get to. Like Jeff, you won't have to worry about that anymore. Same with Jeff Forte, David, pretty much everyone on the panel here now has kind of got over that initial hump, and they see it's real, they've made money, they know and now everything from now on is going to be easier now. And the only way to get there faster is to believe it before you see it. Right? The only way that you're going to get there quicker to get over that initial little hump, because once you make your first sale, you better believe that you're going to be a lot more confident. You're going to see it's real. You have the money in your hands, you know. But to get to that point, you need to believe in yourself and your ability that you have the ability to get to that point too. And as soon as you kind of get over that and realize, okay, you know what? Jeff's done it. Eric's done it, David's done it, Nate's done it, Julian's done it. All these people are doing it, and that's why we're going to keep bringing up new success stories of people that are crushing it, because you're going to start to see a pattern. You're going to start to see a pattern over and over. Notice that everyone that's coming in here, they're either speaking their vision into their existence, they're focusing on themselves, they know, they believe in themselves and their ability to go do something. And I always come back and I think about David when he first got started, and he just came in and he was just so confident before he even did anything, before he even like saw the training or like saw anything. He's like, dude, I'm going to crush this. Just wait. Just watch. You're going to be hearing me. He's like, I'm going to nag the hell out of you until I crush this. And he would message me all the time, but he just knew. And he knew he was going to crush it. So there was nothing that could possibly come in the way that stopped that. He was so confident in his ability. And what's funny is that this is such a simple thing to do, but it's also it can be the simplest thing ever and the most difficult thing to do, is to be so confident in yourself and your ability and knowing that you have the potential to really crush this out. Because if you're a confident person, like I don't know about you, David, if you played sports or did anything like that when you were younger. I played a lot of sports, and I found that when I was always out to win. And so I was really confident when I try new things that I'm going to do it and I'm going to win. And that's just kind of how I go into things. And I noticed with you, you were really, really confident when you went in it. Some people that are here right now might not be as confident with stuff that you do. Maybe you'll always have an area in your life where you are really confident because there's some skill that you have, whether it be art or snowboarding or something, right? But realize that if you can have that level of confidence in anything, so if you're an amazing drawer, or I just saw Nate painting, if you're an amazing painter and you're extremely confident in your ability to paint, if you can have confidence in painting, you can have confidence in every other area of your life. There's no difference, right? You're going to go through the 4 stages of confidence, which we've talked about numerous times, where when you're first getting started, obviously you're not an expert painter, you're not a pro snowboarder the first day you start. You're going to go through the 4 stages of confidence to learn and figure out how to do all this stuff. But when you go in knowing that you're going to get the result and you're confident and know that you're going to get that result, it's going to make everything so much easier. Your ads flow easier. Everything starts to hit, and it starts to go way, way, way more smoothly than if you're going in with the ability of, oh, I'll try and see if maybe, maybe I'll try and see if it works possibly someday, and try it. Right? That you have to kind of like burn the bridge and not have that, you don't dip your toe in, you just jump fucking in. You just go in and you just do it. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to get the result, know that you can get the result, because we're going to show you stories. Whether you choose to jump into gear right now or not, we're going to keep bringing up people every single week, and everyone's going to keep crushing it over and over, and there's going to be new faces that come up, and the only difference is are you going to be one of those new faces that come up? You know that it's possible. Just dive in. And as soon as, like, I remember before I really started getting any big results, that was one of the big things, is that it was hard for me to commit 110% and really jump in, because I never had results yet. So I was, I would dip my toe in a bit. I would spend a little bit of money on ads, but if I didn't make money, I would stop it, and I would stop spending money. Or I would test a little thing here, and if it didn't work, I would stop it right away. Like, I would never give myself the chance, because I was dipping my toe in, right? But as soon as I just said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to jump in, and you know what, if I fall, who cares? I'm just going to get back up and keep doing it. I know that if I just fully give myself 110% and go in, yeah, I'm going to run into times that it might not be as easy as I would like it. But I know that every single time that I run into something, if there's a difficulty, if I run into any problems at all it is going to be is just a learning experience. I'm going to learn from that, and I won't have to go through that problem again moving forward. That's all that's going to happen. You're either going to learn from something, and you're going to learn from your mistakes, or you're going to get a good result, right? And so as soon as you can kind of commit and just jump right in, that's when you're going to start to really start seeing everything start to flow a lot easier. And it's going to take a little bit just to get over that initial, and it can be skepticism, it can be maybe not being confident in your own ability. Whatever it is, there's a little voice in your head, and there's a little part of you that's telling you, oh, you know what, maybe you're not good enough. Maybe you can't do this. Maybe you're not going to be able to do that. There's always that little part of you like, yeah, Jeff can do it, but Jeff's a fucking badass, so maybe it's just Jeff that can do it. Or maybe, Carlson, well, he lives on a beach and surfs every day. Of course you could do this. You know what I mean? Whatever little voice is saying, but you can't do it, there's always that other little voice in the back of your head that's going, what if you can do it? What if you do? What if you go out and do it? What if it's the best experience of your life? What if you actually go through and you actually just commit and it does work, right? That's the voice you want to follow every single day, because you're always going to have that other one sitting there saying, you didn't get as many leads today. You're not doing so well. You didn't get many sales today. Maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you're not going to make it. You're going to have that voice in your head, and that voice is going to be there for a long time, right? And it's always, especially coming in and trying new things, whatever it may be, and you're going to have them sitting there. And then there's going to be the faint little voice that says, what if you can do it? That's the one that you want to be following. Just jump through and go in and do it. And I guarantee you, you're going to be so happy that you do, because you'll never be able to grow and experience and get these types of results without just committing and jumping full in. You know what I mean? And I'll bring David out here, because I know David, I know you'll attest to this as well. The biggest thing, guys, and we talk about this pretty much every single time we get on this webinar, is just wanting it bad enough and really going through it and just doing whatever it takes, jumping in and just doing it. You know that it's possible. We bring out numerous people that have numerous success stories over and over and over. It's just a matter of whether you're going to want it bad enough, jump out, and really put yourself out there to get those types of results.
Yeah. You want to mute it, Matt?
Yeah.
There you go. So I came in, did my brief little split test, and immediately took it up to $50. I had like $400 I could spend on ads, and I spent it all in a week. I was probably the fastest person to ever get a sale in the history of this whole thing, because I started on like a Saturday and got a sale on Monday. But it's because literally I believed in the system 100%. It was, everything made sense to me, regardless of people thinking, oh, is this a scam, or is it this, or is it that, or is it going to work, or all this stuff. I was able to do the math and put it all together that regardless, the system was set up correctly for it to work. I believed in the Doobly product. I believed in the system. I believed in the webinars. I believed in all of it, and so I jumped all the way in. I had no thoughts whatsoever that it wasn't going to work, and literally I just took it and ran with it. And it really does make a difference, and it really goes towards no matter what it is in life. I mean, I could relay it to an infinite number of things. Like if you find a person attractive and you want to go ask them on a date, but in your mind you're like, they're not going to say yes. Yeah, they're not going to say yes because it's going to be in your mind they're not going to say yes. Or if you play sports and you play baseball or whatever, and you're like, I'm not going to be able to hit against this pitcher. You're damn right you're not going to be able to hit against this pitcher. It really can be relayed to anything in there. If in your mind you're just sitting there just completely doubting that you will be able to do it, it won't happen. It's just the way the world works. And when you really start digging into personal development, it kind of ties that together as to the real reasons as to why that works the way that it does. But honestly, and there's a huge number of people on here that aren't even on my team, but I would seriously make a challenge to every single one of you that are here watching this to look. If you have found an ad that is converting, or if you're close, once you find that ad that is 40 cents a click, scale that fucking $30 a day. Just do it, right? I mean, as much as if you have an advertising budget, whatever that advertising budget is for the month, spend that shit in a week. Just do it, because I guarantee if you do that, the sales are going to start coming in. People are going to start coming in. And at the end of the day, this whole thing is about getting your first 5 or 6 people. And when you get your first 5 or 6 people underneath you, they're doing the same process. It's literally just a matter of time until you're sitting on this panel. But if you're only spending a little bit of money and you're scared and you're not willing to put forth 100% of it into this, it's going to take forever to build that first line. The real money doesn't come in until you have a team built up underneath you, and you're not just getting paid for your efforts, but it's being multiplied by the efforts of your team. And if the faster you can get there, the faster you're going to be making that $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month or so on and so forth. It's literally just a numbers game, and so I came in here, I analyzed the game plan, I analyzed the business plan, and quickly figured out that that's what I needed to do. And I was willing to spend money out of pocket, even if it wasn't going to profit me right away, because I knew what I had to do to make 10 grand a month. And it literally, even with getting 4 fucking ad accounts shut down, and I mean, I should have made 10 grand a month in this thing 3 months into it. I was right there. Literally 3 months into this, I was right on the brink of it, but had serious Facebook problems. So it's just one of those things that it's just a matter of time. But if you put in the work in the very beginning to get that front line built as quickly as possible, even if it costs you money out of pocket, that's the key to being on this panel and having your success story. Period. Point blank. Dive right in. Dive right in. Don't be afraid to spend big money on ads. Don't be afraid to just go head first into this thing. There's too many people that have had real success stories, and there's too many people that are on this that don't benefit from all of your success, right? I don't benefit from everybody in here's success, but so there's no reason for me to not be telling the truth about this. It is real, and it does 100% work. I guarantee if you take your ad budget, if all of you spent, provided you find a good ad, if all of you spent $30, $40, $50 a day, I guarantee you would get multiple sales within the next week or two. Guaranteed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, as long as you're and you're keeping up on those ads, like, don't be afraid to put money on your ads. Like, it's that's your lifeblood of your business is your lead flow, right? And the more you're spending on ads, the more leads you're having coming in, the more leads come in, the more sales you're going to get, the more money you're going to make, right? So as soon as you get over that little bit of being worried about spending money on ads, that's when it gets really, really fun, because all of a sudden you start seeing a big lead flow. You don't get 500 leads a day without spending at least, $200. Probably maybe even less than that if you're getting really high conversions, but you're spending a good chunk of money to get those leads, but that you're filling your pipeline, and that those leads are going to all come through, and you're going to be able to get a lot more sales. And guys, what's really cool about this is that all you guys got to do, like getting to that $5,000, that $10,000 mark, like right now, a lot of you guys might think that that's like crazy and that's so far out there. Making $10,000 a month is like the most insane thing ever. I know I did, because I was making $1,600 a month at the butcher shop. So $10,000 a month, I was like, there's no way in hell. Like, how? That's not real. But as soon as you get over that, it's so easy to make more money once you have money. You know what I mean? Like when you have the money to like really start cranking and like all of a sudden throw $5,000 into traffic, or like really start getting nuts into stuff. Now, like $10,000 a month in this industry, when you start getting into, like, for those of you guys especially that are in elite and stuff, when you start dabbling into other things here, $10,000 a month is like such a small income. It was so funny. Me and Cam were joking, and he's like, "Dude, if I made $10,000 a month, I'd be freaking out. Like what am I gonna do? Like, I would freak out, right?" But the thing is that's like the hardest part. Once you get to that point of making $5,000, $10,000 a month, now getting to like 20,000, 30,000, then scaling up to 50, then it's all way easier. It's just that initial hump of getting past and getting that to the point where you fully really believe it. You're like, wow, I made $5,000. If I can make 5,000, I can make 10. You know what I mean? And then it starts to escalate, and it just gets so easy once you guys get past this initial part, right? And then you get through that part, and this is one source of income. Then you start adding so many different sources of income where it gets huge, right? All of a sudden it gets to the point where like you will never have to worry about money again. And so, guys, I would challenge you as well. Set an intention. If you guys have not been on, you haven't got the results that you've wanted yet, you're still waiting, you're gonna crush something out. Set an intention to be on the next webinar, or in the next month, like Jeff did. I'm gonna be on the next webinar because I'm gonna get an ad that crushes it. I'm gonna get some good results. I'm gonna get a bunch of sales in. I'm gonna get my first PPA. I'm gonna rank up to TC. Whatever your goal is, but set a goal that you're gonna hit, and the goal you're gonna hit it, and then you're gonna get on this hangout because you got that result, and speak that into existence. And I'd love to see some more of you guys, and you come in and crush it, and we'll bring you out on a hangout, and you'll be able to share the story how, you know what, I just made a decision. We were on the hangout. It was December 16th, and I was just like, you know what, that's it. I'm making the decision. I'm jumping all in. I'm going to do it. When I come into this ad that converts, I'm going to scale it up, and I'm going to crush it, and I'm going to make TC this month and get on that hangout, right? Set that intention. Speak that into existence. And we actually have a really special guest out here that I want to bring out, Nate Dogg. What's going on, buddy? Oh, is he frozen? Or are you there?
Nate Dogg, he's on mute.
You're on mute,
Dude,
Nate.
can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, boss.
What's going on?
How's it going?
I'm honored to be here.
Oh,
Nate.
What are you guys doing, man? You guys are all giving some gold, man. I hope everybody's getting some value out of it. I know I have. So I love seeing all these new guys on here crushing it.
yeah,
So,
dude.
Jeff, we got Jeff, and Dave. Of course, Eric's got his breakthrough, but I knew that was going to happen out in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Big week, big time out there.
Yeah. It was awesome.
That's right. Well, yeah, what do you want me to drop, Matt? Because you guys have covered some amazing stuff. I can't wait to share this hangout with my team.
Yeah, for sure. I actually I can hook you up with a link. I might just, like, because I know Julian wants to get us all together and just have everyone together on a hangout. There's no point in us doing multiple ones. I just set up a list on Webinar Jam. We can have everyone, and then we can just put you and Julian out here too if you guys want to all collaborate on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as coming out, like, obviously kind of the main focus has just kind of been just really getting for the new people that are in here that maybe haven't had the results yet. Just kind of getting to that point where you make that a commitment. You know, that initial commitment when you first get in, where you're like, you know what? Because at the beginning, it might take you guys a couple of months. I know when I first got started, I wasn't fully committed, you know, until 6 months, a year in, or whatever, of not getting results forever. And then I fully committed myself. And as soon as I did that, everything all of a sudden starts getting easier. But it wasn't until I made that decision to go, you know what, screw this. I'm making $10,000 a month, and I'm doing it by this day. Guess what? I missed it. I missed it by like a year. I missed it or a year and a half. It might have been longer than that. I missed it. Am I pissed off that I missed it? Fuck no. Because I hit it a year and a half later, and I'll never work a job again in my life. The point isn't that if you hit it, you don't have to hit it that day, but set the intention that you're going to hit it. Put a date on it so you have the push to go and do it. But even if you don't hit it that day, keep that vision in there. You're going to hit it if you keep moving forward. It's so funny. I pulled out one of my, Nate, when we were in our previous company, in the 15K formula, that one initial video about speaking your vision into existence, right? And so you'd write out your vision of like where you were. It was in the present tense. You would, you know, I just found my initial one that I wrote, and it was about going to Thailand, and I was going to be in Thailand making $2,000 a month, and this was dated for like 2 years ago, right? And I still haven't been to Thailand. I just been, and so I'll shoot a video about that when I get there. But the thing is it's just about putting it out there and actually setting the intention, and just moving forward and constantly going for, and knowing that you have the ability to go and get that. But Nate, I'd love to have you kind of touch on. You know, I know you know a lot of stuff as far as personal development goes, and so we got probably only 10 minutes or so until we jump over to Elite. But anything that you want to touch on, like many breakthroughs that you've had that have allowed you to get to the position that you're in now, any struggles that you've gone through that you think people might get some value out of how you got over them or anything like that?
Yeah, I know that one of the, you know, you bring up a really good one. I heard you say something just a few minutes ago. One of the biggest ones, I would say, and I'll just be completely transparent. You know, I still struggle with it sometimes. You know, I think that you know, being a leader in any type of field, right, is always going to be a lonely road. And what I mean by that is, you know, leaders think of themselves differently. Like, you know, Matthew and Julian have become really close friends of mine, and Cameron, I respect him. You know, I'm still getting to know Cameron and hold him in very high regards. And for me, for my generation, I come from the Gen X generation. You know, we're real skeptical about everything, and you have to earn, like, don't get me wrong, I was raised from a military man, so I respect my elders, but yet when it comes to really trusting somebody and actually listening to them, you have to earn my respect, right? And I think a lot of people on here feel that same way. But when you start to really make your own way and you start to get to a point in life where you're starting to cut your own path, you know, the one thing that I think all leaders do is you're hard on yourself, good way, right? Always striving to reach that next level, no matter what it is. Matter of fact, my wife, you know, it's funny, we were sitting down, we have our family business planning, and for those of you who are married on here or have fiancés or girlfriends and you're getting serious about your relationship, I truly believe that having business meetings together is something, a habit, a ritual, if you will, that you need to start coming into practice with. But we were going through our, you know, just our family financial plan and goals and different things, and I was like, man, you know, I'm not happy where we're at with this level, and you know, I was kind of going off, and of course she's like, which I agree with her, but she's like, you need to be more content in where you're at, because you know where you came from, this redneck kid in the middle of nowhere, you know, not having really anything. You know, she's like, you're very blessed, and I understand that, but like my level of thinking is somewhat higher than hers as far as always grow, like down in like 10,000 square foot. We go dream building. We're in this house walking around, absolutely just amazing. And she's like, I don't think I could ever have a house this big. This is like way too big. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, you know, we'll have the wing for, you know, people in our, you know, in business over here. We can entertain over here, you know, and I'm like going crazy. And of course she's like, She's like, I don't think I could clean something this, but I'm like, well, we'll pay somebody to clean this. You freaking kidding me? So it's like you always got to be stretching yourself, to where you want to go. And, the main thing, though, I'd say that I'd encourage everybody to do is always be reading, always be connected to somebody that is willing to speak into your life. Julian's very good about, Matthew's very good about tearing you down or even being negative towards other people. Just exit out of that. Just because it's not good for anybody. And that type of attitude, negativity. My dad always used to tell me is a shitty attitude can literally rub off, and so you always stink around that, and then next thing you know, you got crap all over you, and then you're rubbing it off on somebody else, so sorry for the swear word there, but one of the things that I would encourage everybody to also do is to write down your goals, to go dream build consistently. You don't have to do it every day, but I'd say once a month, that you definitely look at your plans and your visions, your goals every single day. Maybe it's in your morning start consciously. And last but not least, the other, feeding yourself either audio, reading. I like to read the Bible. I like to read leadership books. I always like to listen to. I used to love to listen to music. Don't get me wrong. I still like to listen to music when I work out and stuff, and sometimes when I'm in the yard. I have switched a lot of into now. When I'm mowing the lawn, I'm listening to audiobooks. When I'm going on my walks, or I'm always trying to feed your brain, because what Matthew was saying, it's a very good point, is we all have this chatterbox, I guess would be the best word for it. We all have this little chatterbox. So I'm going to coin a little phrase here. I say we all learn to crash the chatterbox, all right? Because no matter how no matter what level you are, like Cameron and I he had a pretty deep talk with me the other day. I asked him, and this may blow some of y'all's mind. I don't know if he'll kill me for saying this or not, but I was like, hey, do you ever struggle with who you are, as far as like, here I am at this level, I want to get to this next level. Do you ever self-doubt? I just asked him that candid leadership question. And here's what's funny, because I thought, like, literally, I thought Cameron was like Superman. I thought he'd have the blue cape, and but sure enough, he said, yeah. He's like, I do. And I was kind of like, whoa, it really kind of blew me away. But then he said, you know how to kill that. And then he sent me this little quote that now I keep on my phone that I have with me all the time. But it had to do with taking action every day towards your goals will kill the self-doubt that's in your mind, and it will help to crash that chatterbox, because no matter where you're at in life, whether you're on a date with your girlfriend or your wife or something, like you look in a mirror and you see this real handsome guy or whatever, and then you look at yourself and it's like, you're not really that good looking, why is she with you, right? You're running your ads, and it's like, your ads suck, but so-and-so's doing better, and you just suck, but they're, you always got this chatterbox that's rapping in your ear, and you got to learn just to crush it, because if you start listening to the chatter, it's just a self-destruction waterfall. So,
did we lose you?
What's up?
I thought it was cutting out. Hopefully, it didn't cut out for everyone. But I loved how you said that, dude, because everyone has that chatterbox. But what's really cool when you're saying that, like, the times you get into like that self-doubt, or like thinking that maybe you're not good enough, or you can't do that. A lot of that stems from inaction, from not taking action on doing things. As soon as you start committing and like taking action every day, and you're constantly doing stuff, you're always in movement, you're always flowing, you're always got new ads going up, or new leads coming in, or new sales coming in. You're always taking action, doing stuff. You're reading a book, listening to audio. You're always busy doing things, so you don't have time to listen to the chatter, and you don't hear it as much. But as soon as you start slowing down,
Now all of a sudden you're not being distracted by the work that you're doing, not being distracted by taking action and all that stuff. You're being distracted by that chatterbox that's sitting there telling you, hey, you know, Jeff Rayburn's getting 500 leads a day. Why aren't you getting 500 leads a day? You're not getting that. You know what I mean? Like this. But you're going to hear that. And guys, this is one thing too. I remember when I first started, and Julian was crushing it before I started. We started around, I think I started a month after him or something, but he had already like crushed it going out to Thailand. So I would see him all the time welcoming in new members, and I didn't know Julian at the time, and I was like almost like I'd see that, and I would almost like get pissed off that I wasn't creating the results. And I was like almost mad that he was crushing it and he was getting results and I wasn't, because I felt that I was doing the work and how come I'm not getting results. What I encourage every single one of you guys to do is that when you see other people creating success and you have a chatterbox that says, hey, look, you can't do it, but Jeff can get 500 leads a day because he's way better than you are, blah, 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 whatever it may be, that's when you can be like, you know what, the reason why I'm noticing that Jeff's getting 500 leads a day is because that allows me to realize that if Jeff can do 500 leads a day, so can I, right? The reason why I'm realizing and I'm seeing all this success around me is because that proves to me that that's possible. That proves to me that now I can do this exact same thing for myself. And so what I would encourage you to do is to celebrate other people's success just as you would want them to celebrate yours. Right? And as soon as you start doing that and you get pumped up for other people's sales more than you do for yours, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you're going to see that you have that energy and you get excited over those sales that you start to see coming in. What does that do? It starts to attract more situations in your life for you to get excited for. More sales start coming in. Now you start getting more sales too, right? And when you start celebrating other people's success and instead look at that as something where it goes, wow, like, instead of being, you know, resentful towards it and being like, oh, I wish I could do that, be like, if he can do that, that means it's possible. It's not now a belief of maybe this internet marketing thing can work. You know it can work. You see Nate do it. You see Jeff do it. You see Carlson do it. You see David do it. You see all these people do it. If they all do it, we're not special. We're not different. We're all the same human. We all have the same brain. We have everything that you possibly need to come in here and create results you have right now. It's just a matter of fact of you stepping into that and owning those qualities and owning the fact that you can go out and get these results and that you're going to. And write your goals down, like Nate's saying. Write them down, get them on paper, speak them into existence, and start taking actions towards those goals, and just don't stop until you make it. The only way you're ever going to fail is if you quit. As long as you keep your vision, write down your goals, focus on them, do your visualization, read, listen to audios, and keep pushing forward, keep moving forward, you're going to keep getting results. And you're going to get better and better and better and better, and everything's just going to become more effortless, and it's just going to make everything so much easier. But definitely write down your goals, write them out, because then it starts to get more real. When you write it down, then it's more real. Then you start speaking it. Right? And you're going to notice too, especially if it's something that you're shooting for big and you're like, I want to make $10,000 a month. And you start saying to yourself, I'm a $10,000 a month earner. At first, you might not say it like that. At first, you might go, yeah, I'm a $10,000 a month earner. I'd love that. You know, like I'd love to be that $10,000 a month earner. But you don't fully believe it because you're not there. As soon as you start, when you write your goals down and when you have that affirmation and you keep saying it, eventually after you say it 10,000 times, you're like, I'm a $10,000 a month earner and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get the results. And you start to feel that, and then you start to act like that. Now all of a sudden you start to act in your business as if you are already a $10,000 a month earner, and then what do you know? The results just start flowing in. What do you know? All of a sudden you've made $10,000 and it doesn't even seem like you're doing anything different. You've commanded what you're wanting to go and create, and you take action consistently going towards that goal, and you're always keeping busy working on something, either reading a book and an audio and developing yourself, or you're split testing ads, or you're doing something to make sure that you're always every day pushing forward a little bit and just being a little bit better than that person you were the day before. And I guarantee you, you're going to get there. Some people are going to get there in a month. Some people are going to get there in a year, maybe 2 years, right? It might take you a while. Who knows? But guess what? As soon as you start jumping in and you sprint, you write down your goals, and you commit, you burn the bridge, and you just go and do it, that's when it's going to start coming fast. right? That's when it's going to start going really quick, and all of a sudden the results are going to flow in faster than you can handle, and you're going to be like David and be like, you know what? I scaled my ads up, but I got to keep it where it's at, because if I scale any higher, I'm not going to be able to handle all the calls that are coming in. And that's the best problem to have, is that your business is running so good that you can't handle all the business that's coming in. And then guess what, guys? If that happens to David, that can happen to every single one of you guys. All right, David, did you want to pop out? We're going to jump off here pretty quick. We're at 7:10. So we're going to pop off pretty quick for, I know Carlson, Nate, David, we all got to jump over to Elite. On all of you guys that are here right now, if you haven't already, Elite Hangout started 10 minutes ago. We got to make sure that we jump over there. But David, is there anything that you want to touch on, or Carlson, or Jeff, anything you guys want to leave on before we jump off here, guys?
No, I mean, nothing really. Just jump all the way in. I mean, that's really all that I can say. There's too many people that are having success that all come from different walks of life to not believe in the system. The only thing that's holding anybody back, really, honestly, the only thing that's holding anybody back that's doing this is themselves.
Nate. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't realize I was laughing. Like, one down, like you're the only one. That's right, guys. Absolutely. Reiterate that, guys. Don't be afraid to step on a gas pedal. You know, don't be afraid. You get the metrics and numbers we're showing you guys again. Go ahead and step on that gas pedal and actually sit down and formulate what is your marketing budget. I think some people I'm working with, don't have a set marketing budget. Know what your budget is and how to work within it. And then when you start making profit, just have a plan to throw back in there, compounding that, okay, guys? Have a plan, a strategy, and when you have the right numbers, don't be afraid to scale it. It's working for everybody, okay?
Awesome, guys. So with that being said, we're all going to be jumping over. For those of you guys that are in Elite, AWOL Elite, make sure that you do jump over there. We are 10 minutes late. Cam's going to kill us all, so we got to get there very fast.
Love you guys.
Love and appreciate every single one of you guys coming out. Jeff, David, all you guys that were on the panel tonight, Carlson, Nate, thank you guys so much as well. It was an awesome hangout. If you guys did register, you guys will be getting links to the webinar every Wednesday sent to your email, so we'll be looking forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday. All right, take care, guys, and we'll see you there.
Thank you, guys. Peace.
Thanks, Janger.